Make the ground shake.
So, hey guys, what's going on? My name is Gummy, and today we are here with another statue tutorial. Again, kind of changing things up a bit on the main channel, trying to introduce some new series, and in this case, finishing off an old one. So, I think it was like 2 years ago now, which is actually crazy. We did the VanossGaming statues, and you guys loved them a lot. I say you guys, half of you guys weren't even there, the channel was tiny, and since then we've come a long way. So we're going to finally, I guess, continue with the VanossGaming collection. So today we are doing none other than VanossGaming, the updated version, because a lot has changed since we built him last. So last time we built him, he was a gent in a red jacket with sunglasses. He is now I guess an owl in a red jacket. So that's what we're going to do again, and this is what we did last time. This is a collab between me and Predator Gaming. That's Predator34619, and his Twitter is at Predator Gaming. I'll leave a link in the description, and you may recognize him because he's the one that actually did the original Vanoss design and helped me a lot with the Vanoss collection. So it's kind of like reminiscent and a bit weird almost that we're going to come together again and do, I guess, a second collection, which is going to have the updated skins and then some more improved skins, because we've both got better at statue building over the past 2 and a bit years, and we're going to hopefully update them a bit. So anyways, the blocks you'll need to build the statue are the following. You'll need white wool, red wool, grey wool, white stained clay, sand stained clay, orange stained clay, light grey wool, yellow wool, and black wool. A map is always handy if you're on the console edition. I am, so I'm going to be using it. If you're on PC, simply use F3. So with that said, we're now going to start building. We're going to start off with the front legs, which is 12 tall, 8 wide, and we're going to do it layer by layer, 12 layers in total. So the first layer is 8 white wool. Simple enough, 8 white wool. The second layer is 1 red wool, 2 white, 2 red, 2 white, 1 red. The third layer is 8 red wool. And then simply after this, it's just 9 layers of grey wool. So that is the first layer, the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, if I can place the fifth row correctly, that is, 7th, 8th, and 9th. So once you've done that, you should have a 12 tall by 8 wide rectangle. Now the way I'm going to prove that to you, rather than counting, because counting is long and boring, what we're going to do is go to the ground level. You're going to press F3 if you're on PC, or pull out a map, and you'll see here my floor level is Y5. If I go up here, it should be Y17. As you can see, it is. That's 12 blocks off the floor. And again, if your floor level is, say, Y10, it should be Y22. You just add 12 onto your floor level, not mine. So yours may not be Y5, check, and then you just go up 12 layers from there, and it should be the corresponding block. So again, for example, if yours is, say, I don't know, Y8, then it should be, go up here, it should be Y20. So 12 blocks off the floor, should be 8 blocks wide, should be looking something like this. Very, very simple so far. So essentially it's 3 layers of the shoes and then 9 layers of the legs. Next, what we're going to do is start working on the body. So on the left side, we're going to place 1 red wool. We're going to do the exact same on the right side. We're then, on the left side, going to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left using white stained clay. On the right side, we go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right using, again, white stained clay. Essentially, what that's doing is marking out where the arms start, and we'll come back to that later on in the video, but for now, we don't need to worry about it. It's just saving us time later on. So, now what we're going to do, and it's very, very simple, we're going to work on the body. So what we're going to go ahead and do is build up from this red wool here up 11. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Again, if you've done it correctly, you should be 24 blocks off the floor. And in this case, you can see I am indeed 24 blocks off the floor. For this side, we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 again. As you can see, it should be 12 tall, these 2 red pillars, and then we're going to go ahead and join them together. So starting from the left side, we're going to go 1 to the right with 1 grey wool, 4 white stained clay, and 1 grey wool. And that will link them perfectly. Then what we're going to do is underneath this, we're going to place 2 grey wool, 2 white stained clay, 2 grey wool. On the next row, underneath this grey wall here, we're going to go down one to the side 3 times, and there'll be a 1 block gap either side. We're not going to worry about that for now. So this is kind of like the V shape for the neck. Then what we're going to do is in the 2 center blocks, we're going to place 2 grey wool, and on the left side we're going to go down 1. On the right side we're going to place 1 cyan stained clay, we're going to go down 1 and to the left 1, and it links it back in and gives us our little like neck part. That's probably not the technical term, but I'm going to call it that anyways. So simply, the rest is just red wool. So you just go ahead and fill it in all with red wool, and that is your front of your body complete. It's very, very simple, but again, in the actual like GTA character, his character simply is just wearing a like greyish black like t-shirt with a red leather jacket. I believe it's leather. I may be wrong there, but it looks leather-ish, so we're going to go on the basis it is. Now, you could go ahead and get your red stained clay if you wanted to and add some like crease details and stuff like that. I'm not going to because it makes it overcomplicated, and sometimes overcomplicating things is not good. In fact, it's always not good unless it's necessary. In this case, I don't feel it is. If you feel it is, feel free to do so, but again, I'm not going to. So anyways, just to reiterate this is 12 tall, 8 wide. If you want to pause, you are more than welcome to do so. And we're now going to start working on the arms. Now each arm is 12 by 4. We're going to start on the left arm first. First 2 layers is 4 white stained clay. So that's the first one here. And the one we've just placed on top. The next 3 layers is red wool. We then have a layer of 4 white wool. A layer of 4 red wool. 4 white wool. 2 layers of 4 red wool. And then we're going to go 3 white wool, 1 red. And then the final layer is 4 white wool. Now, once you've done that, that is a 12 by 4, as you can see here, and it is very, very simple. Again, it's just layer by layer, simple designs. 2 layers of white stained clay, 3 layers of red wool, 1 layer of white wool, 1 layer of red, white, 2 red, and then essentially 2 white. Now, the other side is the exact same, so if you want to go ahead and mimic that by mirroring it, and you are more than welcome to do so. However, I'm going to go over it nevertheless. So, coming over to the right arm now, what we're going to do, the first 2 layers is simply white stained clay, as you can see here, white stained clay. The 3rd, 4th, and 5th layer is red wool. 6th layer is white wool, red wool, white wool, 2 red wool, and then for the final 2 layers, it goes 1 red wool, 3 white, and then the final layer is 4 white. So again, the exact same as the left side, just mirrored. And that gives you something that looks roughly like this. I say roughly, it should look exactly like this. But if there are small things, then go back and see where things have gone wrong. If you can't discover where they've gone wrong, still need a bit more help, let me know and I'll try and help you on a more personalised basis as much as I possibly can. Because again, factor in I am one person, so if I don't reply straight away, that will be why. But yeah, that's what it should be looking like so far. And if you want to pause, this is probably a good time to do so. Again, it's 24 tall, 16 wide, 8 wide if you're not including the arms. Who knows why you wouldn't be including the arms. And the body, again, 12 by 8, legs 12 by 8, each arm 12 by 4. So, it's looking awfully nice, but a tad 2D. So what we're going to do is go around to the left corner now and start working on the side of the legs to fix this problem. So the side of the legs and side of the arms are extremely easy. What we're going to do is get our white wool and go 1, 2, 3 backwards. And it will give you a backwards L, which looks like this. In total, the side of the leg is 12 by 4, and it just matches up with whatever block is already at the side. So as you can see here, the first layer is white wool, the second and third is 3 red wool, and then the next 9 layers is simply just 3 grey wool. So whatever block is at the pre-existing side is whatever block we place, and we're only placing 3 blocks on each row, because once you built it, it will give you a 12 by 4, as you can see here. The other side is the exact same, so again, if you want to rush ahead like a Speedy Gonzales, you are more than welcome to do so. However, just for you guys who want a bit more reassurance and me to go over it one more time, I will anyways. So the first layer is, again, 3 white wool. We're going to expand it backwards to the right. The next 2 layers is 3 red wool, and then we've got 9 layers of 3 grey wool. Again, whatever block is pre-existent at the side here is what block we're going to place. It's as easy as that. And that rule applies when we move on into the arms in a second, but I'm going to talk about that, of course, in a second. So again, this is the right side of the leg, 12 by 4, and we come around to the left side, and we got the left side of the leg, you guessed, 12 by 4. So, for the side of the arms, what we're going to do is come around to the rear of the statue. Should be looking something like this, a tad weird, you could probably say, but it won't be looking it won't be looking as weird, should I say, for quite so long. We're going to be working on it pretty rapidly. So what we're going to do is come to the rear of the arms and to the bottom layer of the white stained clay here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3 backwards all the way across, and that will give you a 4x4 square of white stained clay. We're going to go over to the one over here, the other arm, the back of the left arm, and do the exact same 1, 2, 3 all the way across. And you come below, you'll notice again it's a 4x4 square of white stained clay, and that is the base plate of the hands. Coming to the left side of the arm now, again backwards L, 12x4. You can go up layer by layer, and it will make the side of the arm. Again, same applies. Whatever block is at the side is whatever block we place. So we're just going to go up layer by layer. So the first layer, which is the 4 white stained clay. We got second layer, 3 white stained clay. The next 3 layers is red wool. Next layer is white wool. 3 red, 3 white, 2 layers of red, 2 layers of white to top it off, and bring it up to the top. 12x4, as you can see here, and again that consists of 2 layers of white stained clay, 2 layers of red wool, 1 layer of, it's not 2 layers of red, it's 3 layers of red, apologies, I can't count apparently. 1 layer of white wool, I'm really messing up here, aren't I? 1 layer of red wool, 1 layer of white wool, 2 layers of red wool, and 2 layers of white wool. We got there. I didn't call it snow, quartz, or maybe even a pumpkin, because I am really messing up. For some reason, I don't know why I messed that up. But hey, anyways, again, hopefully you understood that, and me not being able to count didn't put you off a tad. If it did, again, apologies, but we're going to go around to the other side now, and pretend it never happened. So, coming around to the right side, you can see it's a 12x4. We're simply, again, doing what we did on the other side, going up layer by layer. So the first 2 layers is white stained clay. Then we got 3 layers of red wool, 2 layers of white, red, and then white. So, well, in fact, it's 3 layers then, isn't it? Of course, I can't count. Man, I'm being awful with the counting today. Again, layer of white, layer of red, layer of white. That's 3 layers, not 2. 2 layers of red wool, and then finally 2 layers of white wool. Again, 12x4. And it should be looking something like this. Okay, so that is looking nice and complete, nice and finished. However, if you come around to the rear of the statue, it will look like this, and it's got a few issues. Mention that there's like a big, huge gap. So that's what we're going to work on now, is filling it all in, making it look a bit more complete, and finishing off the statue. So we're going to start off with the back of the legs, so this bottom part here, and what you may notice is we've got pillar here, pillar here. Now, the back of the legs is 12x8, 12 tall, 8 wide. However, of course, because of pillar here and pillar here, that's 1 and 2 blocks already done. So each row, we're only placing 6. And again, there's 12 layers, but we're only placing 6 blocks on each row. So the first layer is 6 white wool. The second and third layer is 6 red wool. And then the remaining 9 layers is 6 grey wool. Again, very, very simple. The trousers are very simple because it's purely just like grey, like coloured trousers. Again, you could add some more detail, technically, if you wanted to. But again, I feel it's overcomplicating it if you are. So, that is the rear of the legs. Again, 12x8, very, very easy to do. However, I say that, back of the body, even easier. 12x8 of red wool. So all we're going to do is just build up randomly and try and match up with the same height as the front here. You can build across if you want. It saves you counting again, because you know me, I really hate counting. It's not I hate counting, I'm lazy and I can't be bothered, to be honest. That's probably not a good inspiration for you younger folks out there watching the video. But yeah, that's just me, I guess. I'm really lazy when it comes to counting and just find the easiest option, which normally invests more time, but hey, it is what it is. So anyways, as you can see here, whilst I was rambling a bit about being lazy, you can see that is a 12x8 of red wool. And if you back up a bit, you'll see it's starting to take shape a bit. So the back of the arms, same as the front of the arms, just mirrored. So we're going to start on the back of the right one here. In our case, it's the left one. And again, 12x4. However, this big column here already counts as 1, so we're only placing 3 blocks on each row. So the first 2 rows is white stained clay. Then we have 3 layers of red wool. A layer of white wool, layer of red, white, 2 red, and then for the 2 whites, of course, we've got 2 white, 1 red, and then for the final layer is simply 3 white. And it gives you something that looks like this. Now for the shoulder, all you need to do, if you've placed a red wool here to link them together, is just place a 3x2 of white wool, and then this whole part here can just be filled in with whatever colour you want. It doesn't matter because you won't be able to see it, the head will cover it up nevertheless. So that is the back of the right arm. The back of the left arm, simply what we're going to do again, same as the other side, 2 layers of white stained clay, 3 layers of red wool, a layer of white wool, a layer of red wool, white wool, 2 red, and then for the second to last layer it's 1 red, 2 white, and the final layer is 3 white wool, and it gives you, again, something that's mirrored to the other side. Go ahead and, again, fill in this 3x2 using your white wool, and once you've done that, you'll have your statue, or at least the body of your statue, nice and complete. Now you could go ahead and add a bunch of details. If you're making this based on the GTA character, then you could go ahead and maybe add a prop gun, or like a prop, I don't know, some form of weapon I'd imagine, seeing as it's Grand Theft Auto. I haven't played that game in absolutely ages, probably need to try it again soon. If you want to make it based on the GT mod character, which I imagine a few of you will, then you can go ahead and add a crowbar in his hand. You could go ahead and use one of the gravity guns, smack that in his hand, but that would be a bit of a pain to build, but if you want to do that, then that's adventurous, I guess. What I was going to do, before I chopped off my hand and put it back on without saying anything, is give you a quick spin around of the statue so far, and give you guys an opportunity to pause, catch up if you need to do so. If you don't, then feel free to skip ahead, and grats for being on the ball, on the money. But if you do, nevertheless, don't worry, and this is probably the best opportunity and the final opportunity you're going to get, so take advantage. So this is the front of the legs, 12x8. We have the front of the body, 12x8, and the front of each arm, 12x4. Coming around to the left side, we have the left side of the leg, 12x4. The left side of the arm, 12x4. We have the right side of the leg, 12x4. And the right side of the arm, you guessed, 12x4. Coming around to the rear side, you have the rear of the legs, 12x8. The rear of the body, the 12x8 red rectangle, and the rear of each arm, 12x4. We have the shoulders up here, which is 16x4, consisting of a 4x4 area of white wool, and then the rest is simply doesn't matter, because you're not going to see it, it's going to be covered by the head. So with that said and done, hopefully you have something that looks like this, and what we're going to do now is move on to the head. Now this is the biggest variation from the original design, is the head, of course, because he's now wearing an owl mask, whereas before he wasn't wearing the mask. So hopefully that puts to rest all you guys that commented on the old video asking where the owl mask was. At the time, that wasn't a thing. But hey, now it is, and now we've got an awesome design for it, at least I think it is. So again, huge job, or huge credit to a great job. I can't get my words out, from Predator. It's really, really nice. I added a few details, just to like top it off, but it's a really, really nice design. So what we're going to do is come to the front side here, go to the left corner, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 5th block to the right, we're going to place an orange wool, bring it 2 forwards. We're now going to go to the right side, and we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the 5th block we place an orange wool, bring it 2 forwards. What we're then going to do is fill the gap in. There should be a 6 block gap. We're going to use our orange wool, and once you've done that, if I can place it properly that is, you'll get an 8x2 overhang. We're now going to come around to the side and expand it backwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Same on this side, we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we link them together by doing a 6 block gap in the middle. As you can see there, that's an 8x2 overhang, and that in total gives you an 8x8 square, which happens to be made out of orange wool. Now this is our template for the head. We've got the front side, left side, right side, rear side, and of course the top will go right on top. So we got the front side here, which is otherwise known as the face. That's what we're going to do first, because it's probably the most complicated side and requires the most attention. So we're going to be, again, doing it layer by layer, just so you don't get confused. The first layer consists of 1 orange wool, punch it out, replace with 1 orange stained clay, 4 orange wool, 1 orange stained clay, and 1 orange wool. The second layer is 8 orange wool. The third layer is 1 orange wool, 1 light grey wool, another light grey wool, 2 orange wool, 1 light grey wool, 1 white wool, 1 orange wool. This would be a good time to put the light grey and the white wool together. And we also need our yellow wool and our black wool. Okay, there we go. We have all the blocks together. So, the fourth layer is one white wall, one yellow, one black, one light grey, one white, one black, one yellow, one light grey. The next layer is one light grey, two yellow, two orange, two yellow, one white wall. The next layer is one white wall, one light grey, four orange, one white wall, one light grey. The next layer, the seventh layer, second to last, we got one light grey, two orange wool, one orange stained clay, three orange wool, one white wool. And the eighth and final layer is three orange wool, two stained clay, and three orange wool. Once you've done that, you have your mask complete. And that is its final form. Look how great it looks. I'm just kidding. In case you couldn't tell, it looks awful. And we're going to go ahead and add some 3D effects to make it look a tad more like your angry, demonic, murdering owl. So, what we're going to go ahead and do is get our black wool, and we're going to make this a 3D effect. We're going to add the eyebrow, or the monobrow, in this case, which makes it look really, really angry. So in the middle here, right above this white wool and this light grey, we're going to place two black wool, and we go up diagonal to the left 3 times, and we do the same on the right, so 1, 2, 3. As you can see here, instantly looks 100 times angrier. We're then going to go ahead and add the beak. So we go ahead to the center 2 blocks right here, and place a 3x2 of black wool right in the center 2 blocks, and there should be a 1 block gap in between the angry monobrow and the beak. And once you've done that, as you can see, you have a really, really cheesed off looking owl. And that is the effect we're going for. So, grats. So, anyways, enough of the, random talk. This is an 8x8 square with the 3D effects. So, if you want to pause, again, it might be a bit complicated because of the 3D effects. They might throw you off a bit. Take your time. And we're now going to go on to the left side, which is a tad easier. So, coming around to the left side, what we're going to do is, again, go layer by layer. So, the first layer, we go to the 7th block from the left side, and we replace it with 1 orange stained clay. The second layer is 1 orange wool, 3 stained clay, 1 wool, 1 clay, 1 wool. The third layer, from left to right again, is 2 wool, 1 clay, 4 wool. The next layer is 3 wool, 2 clay, 2 wool. The next layer is 6 wool, and then 1 white wool. The next layer is 1 wool, 3 clay, 2 wool, 1 white wool. The next layer is 1 clay, 3 wool, 1 clay, 2 wool. And the final layer is 3 wool, 2 clay, 2 wool. Once you've done that, again, it's an 8x8 square, minus that little 3D effect of the eyebrow you can see poking out the side there. That is the left side. The right side is a tad different, so I wouldn't skip ahead unless you're looking a bit off. But we're now going to go around to working on that. Again, if you want to pause, feel free to do so. So, coming around to the right side now, again, layer by layer, we're going left to right this time. We're going to start off on the first layer. On the second block, we're going to replace it with orange stained clay. The second layer is 3 orange wool, 2 stained clay, 1 wool, 1 clay. The next row is 2 clay, 4 wool, 1 clay. The next row is 1 wool, clay, 4 wool, 1 clay. The next row is 1 white wool, 2 orange wool, 2 clay, 2 wool. The next row is 1 white wool. Then we have 5 orange wool and 1 clay. The second to last row is 3 orange wool, 1 clay, 1 wool, 2 clay. And the last but not least row is 1 wool, 1 clay, 4 wool, and finally 1 orange stained clay. So that is, again, an 8x8 square. If you want to pause, now would be the time. And we've only got 2 sides left now, so we're making really, really nice progress. So coming around to the rear side of the statue now, you're presented with this. Again, we have the non-angry eyes, and then we come around to the front and we have the really angry eyes. I'm not sure if his character actually looks that angry, but we kind of wanted to make it look a bit more like ferocious rather than without the eyebrows. As you remember, it looks a bit weird. So that's why we added the eyebrows, or the monobrow, because they're connected. So for this part, the rear side, again, layer by layer. So the first layer is simply 8 orange wool. The second layer goes 1 wool, 1 clay, 1 wool, 1 clay, 1 wool, 1 clay. The next row is 1 wool, clay, wool, clay, wool, clay. Very similar pattern. The next row is 1 wool, clay, then we have 3 wool, 1 clay. The next row is 1 wool, 1 clay, wool, clay, wool, clay. The next row is simply wool, so 6 wool. The next row is 1 wool, clay, 2 wool, clay, wool. And the final row is 1 wool, 2 clay, and 3 wool. As you can see here, that's what it looks like. It's a bit more like, it has more pattern on this side than it does on the other side. It's a bit more like straight rather than like the random shapes. But again, that's just because it's like the feathers are kind of like, I guess, flattened at the back of the head. They kind of go down in a straight line rather than all over the place. Maybe I'm thinking that through a bit too logically, but that's generally the reason why I added the detail like that on the rear side. So with that said, that leaves us with one last side, which is of course the top of the head. So what we're going to go ahead and do, get it, a head, is fill this all in with orange wool. And no, that was not an intentional joke, and I regret ever saying it because that was awful. But we're going to go ahead and fill it all in. I've just done it again using orange wool, as you can see. And we're going to punch out the detail because I feel in this side it's easier to do that because it's a tad more random. So we're going to start off at the front side, and we go 1, 2 forwards and replace with orange stained clay. And from the second block, we're going to go 2 to the left and again replace with orange stained clay. Next, what we'll do is from this part here, we're going to go 1 to the right and replace there. And from this side, we're going to go 1 in, punch out 2, and then go up diagonal to the right. Next, what we're going to do is we go to this part up the top, we go down diagonal to the left and bring it 2 forwards back towards the front. On the second block in, we go 1 to the right to give us a Tetris shape like so. And the last but not least row, we go to the top left corner, we go in diagonal 1 block on the right side, and that will be our final block. And once you have done that, you have built the top of the head, but also the statue. You have completed the build. I'm going to get rid of my arm and we'll do a little spin around of the head before we end off the video. So of course each side is an 8x8 square. In total it's an 8x8x8 cube. We have this part at the front which is 3D effects. That doesn't really count into those measurements, but still something to bear in mind. So with that said and done, hopefully you did enjoy this tutorial. Again, a bit of work went into this and it was definitely cool catching up with Predator again and building some statues and some designs. So if you want more of these, let me know down in the comments below. We've got a Bat Owl edition which is coming in the very near future, as well as an updated Dahi Denogla statue. I say updated in the sense that we're going to be using his Gmod character and then we might do his GTA character in the near future. That's something I've been working on my own. So we got Zoidberg essentially is his Gmod character. So let me know if that's something that interests you. Again, stick around if you enjoy the Star Wars content because I'll be doing a bit more of that as well as a bit more of everything, Undertale, you name it, I got it. And Marvel. It should be an interesting summer, so thank you very much for watching. Again, if you did enjoy, definitely consider leaving a like down below. If you disliked it, dislike button is also there. Let me know down in the comments below if you do, why you disliked it, so I can improve for future videos. And with that said and done, thank you very much for watching. My name has been Gummy, and I'll see you in the next video. Eyes in the sky, gazing far into the night. I raise my hand to the fire, but it's no use, 'cause you can't stop it from shining through. It's true, baby, let the light shine through. If you believe it's true, baby, won't you let the light shine through?